Okay,
Yes, sir. There we go. We made it.
we made it. I
There you
learned
go.
tech. I learned technology, so this is a big day.
You're figuring it out, right? It
I'm
is
figuring it
the
out.
solution. The solution is there.
I'm not
There
as
is.
I'm no longer a spring chicken, so technology is not my. I'm not your age, so I don't love doing this. But anyway, this is going to be an important one, so I'm glad we're doing this, and I'm recording it, so we'll have it. And I think where we're supposed to start. Do you have the ability to
Mm-hmm.
read the message from today?
I mean, I could. It might be possible that I'm just disappearing here, but we will see how it looks, and you can let me know
Okay,
um, as I am leaving Zoom. So,
it's
do
okay.
you
It'll be fine.
see?
You're. I no.
Do
I
you
still see
see?
you.
Okay, there you go. So I can read the message then,
Yes.
which is cool. This is now I have the 15th open. I just refreshed the page. There we go. Self-love holds all power. This is what we're going to talk about. Big time, big time. Alrighty, August 17th, 2023. Self-love holds all power. That statement is always accurate while you are on your physical life journey, but it's one you come to accept and understand over time. The self that we refer to is the one that remembers your connection to source, what all that is. As you regain more of that memory, you also gain access to everything you have ever desired. We gave you a message on this date in 2012 that we would like you to absorb now while moving through the ascension of you and your planet. You will create both the life and world you want. Start forgiving yourself for not knowing this before and decide to know it now. It was the reason for our live conversation yesterday. You stand on a pivotal time in your life and world and can have the ones you want. I think my English is going to be better and better. So, August 17th, 2012, you will begin to cause the actualization of the real you and your further expansion when you begin to notice the times when you experience resistance to asking for what you truly desire. Big time. The prevalence of this habit in your physical life experience does indeed hold or block, if you will, your evolvement. You can become more of that real you while in physical form, while simultaneously believing that you somehow do not deserve to have your desires. This applies to every aspect and area of your life. You never intended to come to the earth plane merely to experience limitation or lack. I read this again. You never intended to come to the earth plane merely to experience limitation or lack. Wilhelm. Big time. We are conditioned on this planet somehow where we are breaking out from or free from, I think. We're breaking free is a
No.
beautiful thing to say and
But
learning to love ourselves. Yeah.
listen, what before we started this, and I was asking, well, what do you think the topic should be? And the first thing you brought up was regret.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that message say? We got to let go of that one.
We should. Like, if we want to, we have to, if we really want to
Mhm.
feel and experience who we truly are, right? And this has to do with feeling happy, joyful, abundant, right? Accepting that we are abundant beings, that we attract exactly what we need when we need it, and that we actually are. I told it earlier to a friend, like, because people do live the life they live, and someone of my old friends who I hang out with 3.5 years ago, he had an interesting experience the other time, and he said to me, Jana, I know now what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Though I'm having this job and I'm having this good job, right? I wake up in the morning and I'm happy to
Mhm.
go there. And I'm really having plans to do this and that and this. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. So then a few days passed by, and today I just said to him, you know, you can actually do whatever you want to do,
Mhm.
right? you are the magnet, and you magnetize whatever you think of yourself, right? It has to do with your thoughts, your feelings, your emotion, or like your actions, no matter what you do, but how you feel when you do things, and what thoughts, what beliefs you carry about yourself, right? On what frequency do you vibrate? And according to that frequency, you attract the exact frequencies on who you are at this particular point. So if you're capable of just keep doing what you're doing, but see yourself already living the life that you wish to live, you automatically get opportunities presented to you. It doesn't no one says that you should quit your job from one to the other day. But if you can see yourself already having it, and you know that it's already yours in this present moment, then you will attract exactly what you need to make that happen and to live the life that you always desired to live, as the message said.
Now, I will translate what Yarna just said because I always have to do this because he receives such cosmic guidance and such powerful information that it would take people a long time to understand it. So I'm going to come in and explain it, and I can explain it from this message because, see, we evolve in our consciousness over time. And it is something that we each do individually, and we do it collectively as the world. But we're going through a really huge period right now. So people are being moved in different ways. And so I hope that people understand and listen to the premiere of the session tomorrow, because all of the channeling session that I did yesterday, because a lot of this information came through. As we're moving through this period, every person is being asked to become their higher self, let's say, being asked to embody what they came to the world to do, because everyone has that. When we don't do
Yeah.
that, then we start to suffer. And so I received this message in 2012 with the
You
full
did.
awareness. I mean, I didn't know why I was
Yeah.
receiving it then, but then I was told it was supposed to be used now. Everything that this is why and I'm just going to talk about it because I've kind of explained it. It comes through it came through in the channeling session yesterday, but
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about it now. When I received information, it was years ago. It was precognitive, and I could receive. We all have intuition. I just had the ability to access something that was going to be relevant in this time in our world, which is how I created and downloaded basically a philosophy. We're moving through a period where people are going to feel, and I answered so many emails just this morning, people, what's happening? Just like your friend. Why do I have this great job, but why do I feel like I'm supposed to do something else? I don't feel, and then other people are just scared because they're feeling all the energies. There's so much, that's why I did the new moon yesterday. We have energies. We're all affected by it, and so is the planet. But what we're going to see now is that we're going to have, I have to write an article about this, so I'll just give you a precursor. There's the article is going to be for something in Sedona, talking about what are the predictions for 2024. And as my Wilhelm always writes, it says, we're not giving you predictions. We're just telling what the energies are doing right now. And the energies are something that we control. And so what we can control is like what you said. If we decide to love who we are, move through the restrictions, the old stuff, the old baggage, the judgments, all that, then we have a different world and a different life.
It is fascinating how really souls energies can have like a large impact on energies and how this planet is being influenced, right? Like if we look at, I just hear Archangel Michael as an example. I mean, how the heck can he be with everyone, right? But like he is in between those angles, and it's an energy, it's a frequency that you can access, right? And there's no time, no space. So they're beings, they're higher evolved. They can do different things than others, right? And on this planet where we're here right now, like some people call it prison planet. This people call this planet prison planet for a reason, or it's a big experiment, is what other people say as well. What we think about that is another thing, but what we're here is to experience who we are, right? And those questions that we have to answer ourselves, and we come to the answer the more we learn to love ourselves. And this is a key aspect of what we're doing, right? And the philosophy that you have downloaded, received, and share with the people inside the program, or here free for the people, if they really listen, they can do get information out of what you just said, to learn to love themselves even more, to understand to what they're capable to, right? And to learn to accept that they're divine beings with infinite potential, and that they can create the reality that they wish to create, because we are all made from the same source. And why should anyone else be able to have a, or like be, why should we be limited, right? Why shouldn't we have live the best lives, all of us, no matter how that looks for us, no matter how that looks for us? How, why shouldn't we be able to live the best life that we can live? And yeah, it's been a beautiful, beautiful journey. And now I want to bring in my friend again now, because he said, I know and I hear what you're saying and I'm
Yeah,
listening, though he says I'm not there yet. And I
right.
think like, you are, but this is okay, right? I see he
Yes,
is, but this is just, I see the result already done. But he said pretty clear that like, this is where I need you in the next years.
mm,
In the next years, this is how he sees his progress. And this is great, because making those adjustments one step at a time, right? I mean, there's so much information that comes down, so much information for us accessible and available, that it can be overwhelmed at times. Oh, well, where am I actually going? Right?
mm.
And to, yeah, choose basically the things that are aligned with us, we can learn through simply acknowledging what we don't like, and we can start doing more of the things that we like, that lift us up, that give us energy, that fuel us. And this is how we can create the life that we wish to live.
Okay, I'm going to give you something else because I want everybody to understand this. And I hope that people watch the premiere of the video tomorrow because they will understand something on a deeper level. Several years ago, when I began shifting my career direction, it was because I knew that the world was going to be changing. It was going to be challenging for a lot of people. We were going to be evolving. And yesterday I wrote something that called "We All Evolve the Same Way." Every single person, there's no one is any different, and that evolvement is in our consciousness. It's no different. The world does the same thing because we have a collective consciousness, and when we don't understand and recognize our worth and our value and how we're meant to be in the world, and that everyone is meant to be in the world, then we don't have the world we want. But we don't want to change, which is why it's so challenging. And I didn't want to change. I struggled when I started receiving this work, because I said, I'm happy doing the other thing I was doing, just like your friend, opening up to
Hmm.
something new, because we have a consciousness and a divine plan, as I call it, that we each are supposed to live. And when we connect to that authentic part of ourselves, then we have the lives that we want. That's what that message was saying, is that why not ask for it? We can do that because it's in our consciousness. However, I will say, because this is the article I'm going to write, because I never want people to be disillusioned about what's occurring, because we're going to have another year of going through things that are a little uncomfortable, let's say, or a little challenging or difficult, because we're attempting to move into a higher state of awareness, but not everyone is going to do that. And we can see that now. And the reason I said I didn't say this, my guide Wilhelm said the United States would lead the way. It's an energetic thing. We over centuries, we can go back and talk about the history of it all, but over time, we've had different countries, different leaders, we've had different everything who have led civilizations. The United States has been the last one for a long time, but we have not done a really great job. And so now it's being changed. But the only way it changes is within each of us. And so and people can find this, because I did this the other day too. I put a video up, says nothing gets better until you do. That's each of
Hmm.
us. Anything we want to see
Yes.
in our world, we've got to start to find it within ourselves.
And this is why we shouldn't have any regrets for what we did,
They didn't know.
right? Because we didn't know. We did, but we didn't.
Mm,
So it's this weird paradox for when you listen to some certain philosophers as well. Like, and for some people, it just doesn't make sense, because like, how can it be true and not, right? Or why is there two ways of perceiving a thing? Or it is very interesting, because like, no regrets. Yes, we didn't know, and yes, I didn't know many things, though I did. The
mm,
ego didn't. My soul always did what it's doing. my soul wanted to go and to experience certain things. And this is the way that I'm communicating. This is the way that I'm doing the work and the healing,
Mhm.
or from the perspective that I'm coaching as well, is that I'm coming from a soul consciousness perspective. And there's many people that they kind of have yet to figure out what their soul is and how their soul feels and what their soul is capable of doing and here to do in this life, right? So
Mhm.
it's time to tap into that soul awareness, right? Become aware of like a soul and how it feels to live in your soul and to follow your inner guidance, your intuition, right? So yeah, then
Okay.
you have soulful conversations as well, which is just beautiful.
I'm going to read some. You know, this always happens. I'm just going to talk about it. I'm just going to own it today because, and people see me do this all the time. Someone will be speaking, and my guide said, "We gave you everything. You have all the information." And so I'll go back and find a message, and then I'll read it. And it's so weird how that happens. But when we understand that we all have consciousness, it doesn't have anything to do with time. It just is about when we're willing to understand it. And as you said, your friend had this great awareness that it may take some time for him to come to that understanding. Now I'm going to read you regret and understanding because this couldn't have been accidental. I'm sitting here as you're speaking. It's, oh, please read this one. And it's this one. Regret and understanding do not exist together. Many subjective words are being used to help you absorb the meaning. When you are regretting anything in your physical life experience, you are also making the assumption that something has gone wrong. It matters not if it is something that you did or said, or something you believe was done to you, or particular circumstances and situations you felt were out of your control. The result is still the same. You assume something has gone wrong. Therefore, your life experience is wrong. Understanding, on the other hand, is all that you ever seek. It is your ultimate goal during this lifetime. The process of seeking understanding is what causes you to expand and evolve. When you gain that understanding, you also gain the wisdom and knowledge from all those things you were regretting. And when you receive that, there is no longer any need for regret. That's the message. That's
Yes,
correct.
I'm going to use this in the German language as well, because it is now in the next days eventually to sprinkle some, yeah, some pieces of wisdom onto people, right?
Mhm.
Because like we're it is like that. The moment we become aware of it, the moment we have the understanding of the situation and we're observing it from that like pure knowing which every one of us has, if
Mhm.
we're allowing it to if we're allowing ourselves to receive it, or if we accept it, acceptance, right?
Mhm.
Then we won't regret and we don't feel guilty. We can let go of all of those yucky feelings through simply acknowledging life for what it is, a creation of our own making. And this is, yeah,
And the aspect
very
that is
deep.
difficult, the aspect that is difficult for the planet at this time is not recognizing, one, the importance that we each bring to the world and what is
Mhm.
within us, and also recognizing the restrictions and limitations that have been with us because of that prior programming and things that we have brought in from the old world, let's say. And that's what we have to
Bro,
release now and
I
to go to the.
am I am lately in the last few days, the the energy that I received through what is happening in my current life and the way that I'm communicating my truth in German as well, not just in English, is phenomenal. Like I'm feeling super great with doing this. And I see clearly how everything I've ever thought, everything I've ever did, felt, whatsoever, everything that I've experienced led me towards this stage, and that I've created everything that happened in my life, and that I placed myself in this current state with that awareness that I have, with the vision that I have, with everything material around me as well. I know that I've been the creator of all of it because I'm able to see my life and observe every single action that I've ever did in this lifetime, right? I can see back and I'm really observing myself and how I felt with certain stages in my life and what decisions I made, what actions I took. And I knew exactly where I'm going to end up or go. And now I'm very grateful to finally make the decisions that really serve the greater good. Although they served all the greater good, but now I can really intentionally create a better world very, very powerfully through the words that I speak, through the thoughts that I think. And I'm my own making, right? I'm here to become the best version of myself. I'm here to embody the God within everything else as well. Not just the God within me, but the God within every single one of us. And the whole
N-
creation, which is very beautiful and powerful.
Now I'm going to translate again for Yarna because
Please. I'm
because
happy to have a translator here sitting. It is necessary on this world. So
because Yarna has this. When I just got done reading about understanding, and Yarna has this understanding that it takes a lot of us a long time to come to, including myself, because I wasn't going to recognize all of that and understand all of that. And so then when you look at someone like Yarna who's so young and has this understanding, you can understand that you can see that, oh, age has nothing to do with it. It's always about when we connect to that authentic part of who we are. And sometimes we come into the physical form and with this knowledge. I always use child prodigies to talk about that have an awareness and a wisdom that is beyond. And then you have people like me who in their later years come to this awareness and say, oh crap, I got to give this to people.
yeah, but there's also a part that you chose to experience, right? Because like you
Exactly.
had to come out now, because if you would have done it earlier,
It wouldn't have.
you would share a different message, and now you can be the, like, people look up to you because of that, right? So this again like has value on its own, and this is important for everyone to know, that age doesn't matter when you decide to be the best version of you, or when you decide to own yourself, right? When you start to be your authentic self, the time doesn't matter. Time is another concept that doesn't even exist. Like it's an illusional part, because you close, sometimes you live in the past, sometimes you live in the future, right? And you see all sorts of things, and it all happens at the same time. It's just like, what do you want to experience with those infinite possibilities that we do have available? And you even chose exactly to wake up later and to start sharing the message 3 years ago, or 2020, did you said
Yes,
you
and I
come
didn't
off
want to.
road? Yeah,
I didn't want. I don't
like,
want to.
and then
I want to.
it is the ego that kind of worked 70 years in the
Yes.
other direction. And then if you work 70 years, it is an identity that's like that you created that's getting lost. And people fear to lose their identity, because what they think they are is what they worked on their whole life, but this isn't true.
That
And
was the.
this is something
Yeah.
to let go from, to accept. Wow, that's powerful.
But it's also, I'm going to talk about this because there are a lot of people, and I received this email this morning. People are saying, I've been on my spiritual path forever. I've been doing these things, and I don't understand why it's different now. I don't understand why I can't, it hasn't all manifested. We're never done with that expansion, and it's
We're never
always
done.
going on. And
Yes.
so, and this particular period of this time in our world is quite different. If people were to read them, I posted something on it's on my website on rogerburnley.com, and I put it there in January of this year, because I had my Wilhelm said, write this because we want people to understand what is happening, why it's so chaotic, why it's changing. But if we understand it, it becomes great. It becomes so
Yeah.
much better. And that's where we're going. So
Empowerment, right? Like
yeah.
Roger is also an empowerment, intuitive life purpose coach, but you do also you hold lots of things about empowerment, right? You empower the people. Like, and this is really what we're here to do. Like, we have to empower each other, right? We are all unique. We are all having our special gifts and abilities, and it's time to own it, because no one experiences life as you do. And your message, your perspective, your story is unique. and can help so many people if you're able to see the bigger picture, to heal from those things, and you automatically help so many others heal as well when you start to own yourself. So I'm just grateful to do the job. I'm so grateful to have someone who can translate the words that I'm speaking, um, and who is
It's,
supporting me as well, because like we're moving very fast right now, and I know that many people need, right? Many people need what I have to offer, what I has to offer, and it's important to know that you are not alone, right? We are all one, and it's time for us to come together to share what we have with each other, so that we can build a greater world and we can design it the way that we wish to. So this is very beautiful. Um, Thank you, sir. There
I
was,
think that, yeah, if people watch the replay tomorrow or come to the premiere or watch it whenever it's there, it will help them so much, because I know I have to listen again. I've listened a couple times, but I know that the information that came through explains everything that's going on and will give them greater
yeah,
peace, because that's what we want.
exactly, right. And if you look at the testimony, what I've just sent you, how she like, I've listened 30 minutes, and then we've done a 50 minutes meditation, and we achieved a state that's just peaceful, right? Lightness. And this is what I wish people to experience too. Yes, be on earth, but also know how light you can feel, how light you can be walking through the streets and feeling like a feather, because life is so easy and effortless in everything that you do. So it's time to experience some bliss altogether and ecstasy, right? Without having to take ecstasy to experience ecstasy. So,
Good.
all right,
Thank you
brother.
so much,
Thank
sir.
you.
This was brilliant.
Yes.
We shall do more.
We will, and it's yeah, it's just the beginning of something great on this
Good.
planet, and it's a pleasure to work together.
Thank you. All right. See y'all soon. Bye.
See you soon. Ciao, ciao.